Gonna try playing another live game here. Typically takes around a few seconds to find a match online. Sometimes close to a minute. It's rarely close to a minute. It's typically only a few seconds, sometimes up to about 30 seconds. Queuing up a Zerg, it's the race I always play. This is actually the longest I've waited today to get a game. Take a look at some of my stats for the season right now. 48 and 49. The matchmaking does a pretty good job of finding people about your thing. You can see my rating right now is 3584. I've actually lost quite a few games today, so that's down. It was closer to 3700 earlier. 3600-ish is around what I tend to be. That's like platinum tier 2, platinum tier 1. Alright, so this is going to be against Terran, huh? Apparently running into a lot of Zerg today. I have not been having that issue myself, although some days I know the feeling. Some days you just run into all the same race, especially Zerg. Alright, so much for my opponent, good luck. Opponent does the same. It's cool. So the plan here is going to be get a hatchery first, then the gas in the spawning pool. Terran can't really do anything that's not a super cheese to you that will prevent you from just getting a hatchery first. One thing they can do is send an early worker and put down an engineering bay at your base, and that can actually prevent you from building it, and that's kind of annoying. More Terrans actually should do that. It's really super annoying as the Zerg when they do that to you. Because they can just build the building partway and then cancel it later. Alright, so we're going to get a gas, get it up here because when the Reaper comes in, which is normally the first thing the Terrans send across to see what's going on, it takes them longer to go see the gas geyser. Gonna also make a spawning pool in a place that blocks its movement around behind my minerals if I can. Because it's too fast of a unit for my slow Zerglings to catch before Zergling speed finishes, so if I block off this path, it makes it harder for them to just wander around my base and keep bothering me with it. Alright, so we need to make an Overlord here. Got it. So I already sent that Overlord there. Let's send an Overlord here to keep tabs on that base. The one thing is, since the Terran basic unit, the Marine, fires at the air too, you do have to be careful with your early Overlords. You can lose them when you're trying to just scout and see what's going on. I'm not quite sure where the high ground is on this map. Normally there's some little high ground in this general area for Overlords to retreat to. Come on, Hatcher, you done yet? There we go. So we're getting the Queens, the Zergling speed upgrade. Gonna make a couple Zerglings just to defend against an early Reaper coming across the map. I think I saw it there with my Overlord, but I didn't click in time to actually see what it was. I saw the little dot on the map that was in orange, which is the enemy. So hopefully these Zerglings will hatch just in time. And then the Queens typically, oh, it's just a SCV, even better. Oh, I didn't quite surround it. That's unfortunate. Alright. Cool. So I didn't get all the way into my base with that. Okay, what do we got going on here? Okay, he does have a lot of Marines. That's a lot of Marines. Alright, need more Overlords, because that's what happens. Okay, so that my opponent does already have an expansion on that base. Gonna go ahead and take my third base too then. Still need more Overlords here. Okay, so now I can actually make some drones. Okay, so I'm making this extra queen to connect up all my bases with creep and then start spreading it out on the map. I actually need to make another queen beyond that. But I want to make sure that I get all the drones for minerals at both these bases, which is 18, 16, 18, somewhere in that neighborhood. Oh no, queen, don't run off. That's not what I'm trying to do. Okay. What is up with the drones today? I swear they're every place, just chilling. Alright, so I want to make a baneling nest here because it keeps me safe against a lot of stuff that people can do. Oh, that's right. This map also has that weird feature where my main base is so gigantic. Alright, so I need more overlords again. Oh wow, this is plenty of drones here. Can make some of them into structures for the next phase of the game. I want to make my layer here so I can get the next set of tech units. And I need to go check on what my opponent is doing shortly. So, do I have Zergling speed or Overlord speed yet? No. Okay. I want to actually get this queen and this queen spreading creep. Okay. And then I want to spread the creep this way inside my own main base to keep my opponent from just... So I start the armor upgrade first in this matchup because that way your opponent can't just... So Terran units don't do a ton of damage, and so armor upgrades are just very useful against them. I need to go see what is going on out here. So what I'm doing here is clicking all the Zerglings to different places and then deselecting a few at a time and giving them different commands so I can see what's going on in different places. So I want to make a Hydralisk den, keep me safe here. I want to actually get this creep better connected out here. This gives me just a lot of vision and safety and movement speed. I want to get the speed upgrade for my banelings. Okay, I need more gases over here so that my minerals are getting really high and my gas is not. Oh, see, there's part of the problem is I don't have the drones and the gas here. So I have not actually seen what my opponent's doing. Oh, what are they doing? Okay, that's a lot of Marines and Marauders. That's fine. We'll make some Hydralisks. I'll make some Zerglings. I actually should just make a macro hatchery here because I need to be able to spend my resources. And I have an extra queen already from spreading creep. Need more overlords since I saw an attack incoming. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and back up to the watchtower here. Let's see, I want the speed upgrade for my Hydralisks. Make a few defensive structures to try to prevent some drops. That should keep me safe mostly. Where do I need to send some overlords to not just die to nonsense? Should really have done this like 3 minutes ago. I'm just sending them out on the map to have more vision as to what's going on. Okay, so we're going to actually also just stay safe here. Okay, go ahead and take this expansion because it's going to probably be near where we end up fighting. I actually want to back up here. And especially I want to get some... Alright, turn and fight with those. So I want some banelings because they will be effective against that force we just saw. And then some more Hydralisks. So I'm going to use this to open up the attack path, the path between my bases, just for better circulation. As the more mobile army, having more open attack paths is better. So my opponent has got a lot of units there. So my plan is, let's see, I need to get the next upgrade. I want to get that attack upgrade too. And I actually want to tech up to start getting a hive for the highest tech units. Need more overlords. So I'm going to make hydralisks. Alright. So I'm going to go guard this watchtower again and see if what we can see. I want to actually also make some overlords into... Alright, so we're going to use some of these to put creep down so that my opponent can't just take bases. It prevents opposing buildings from being placed there. Let's make some more drones. Need the last drone on gas there. Last drone on gas here. Last drone on gas here. Okay, so what I want to do is try to set up a surround. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to start a spire and a hive to attack to the next thing. But if I can attack first, this is what I want. I want to actually surround my opponent here. So hopefully this does it. Oh, I might not be in time. My opponent might be able to turn around and actually take care of that one too. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Well, I had the right idea, just didn't have the execution. Okay, so we need more Zerglings here. Need like infinite more Zerglings here. Need to make sure we actually have the injects we need here. Okay, well, unfortunately my opponent is attacking at a really bad time for me. Just trying to remake any units I possibly can to hopefully actually live long enough. Alright, so I want to make that a greater spire to get the very late game units. Did they take out both my bases down here? Yeah, I got surrounded. See, they ended up surrounding me when I was trying to surround them. Still actually might have enough here. It might actually be okay. If I can remake a base, this might actually be okay. Let's go see what is up. Alright, so I want to remake a base here. I also want to take this base. Nope, I saw that. Okay, so that's all fine. I can make some corruptors. So they're making their also very late game unit. What's going on with the drone over here? Why are you over here, drone? Go over there. Oh, did I take them down there and then not even? Well, let's at least take out any of these things that we can, because those are a super late game unit for the Terran. Alright, so let's take some of these drones over here to our new bases, because running out. Home. Okay. Trying to, guys. Trying to mine more minerals. No, I think my opponent's just not going to give me the time I need to actually get done what we need. Alright, well, we'll see what we got here. Alright, come on, corruptors, take out these low health things. Yeah, I got one. Alright. Think I'm just dead here. Think I'm just too far behind anymore. Alright. My opponent's got this. They have my new base sieged up. It seems likely I'm not going to be able to recover from this position. Play another couple seconds, but I'm pretty sure this is really it. Yeah, look how many Marines there are. And I don't have anything that fires up to deal with these Liberators either. That they have this, they have anti-air mode, but they also have this anti-ground mode that it's like a siege for that whole circle. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe, maybe. Maybe my opponent doesn't have as much stuff as I think. We'll find out. Come on, hatch Zerglings. Hatch Banelings. Yes. Okay, well, I'm still actually just super dead here. Yeah, this little squad's going to be enough to just finish off the game because I literally don't have any more income, and this is my last base that has any chance to make any income. So these Marines are just going to clean up the last of what I got. No, Zerglings, stay back. Okay, no, there's all the reinforcements. Yeah, my opponent asks GG, but like, yeah, that was right on time. I should have hit rewind there. It's okay. Can just go back and get the replay instead. It's actually kind of bad manner to ask your opponent if it's good game or tell them, oh, hey, it's good game. You should just leave that to them. Like, the win condition is to eliminate all your opponent's buildings. Until you've done that, you haven't actually won the game. They'll generally, at this level, let you know, oh, yeah, you've won for sure. I did stick around the game maybe a little bit longer than I would have if I wasn't recording it just to illustrate things, just to show some games. So, yeah, I send the first overlord here. So my opponent takes a expansion first before building their barracks, even, it looks like there. That's really risky against aggressive builds. This map is so large, it's hard to do aggressive builds, though. They make 2 barracks. This is really normal. They make 2 barracks, then they make a factory and a starport. Lets them do this drop with 16 Marines, although my opponent didn't actually do that this game. Is this a factory? Oh, it's another supply depot. Okay. Where did they end up building? Just a bunch of Marines? Okay, I didn't go back and double check it because the thing, when they just have a bunch of Marines, it's hard to double check with overlords. I assumed they'd actually have a wall here that my Zergling couldn't run past, which it turns out not to be true. I could have actually just run right up here. Probably couldn't have got to the base because they probably would have seen me and put the supply depot up by then. Okay, so their plan is just make a whole bunch of Marines. That's a perfectly fine plan. So I've decided, okay, I'm safe against what's going on right now. Take a 3rd base. Don't know why I have the drone chilling here. It should really be back mining someplace. This map is very large, so drops can come in all the way over in this area of the base, and it's annoying. You want to actually make sure to keep vision of your own main base because it's so large. Wow, my opponent even takes a really fast 3rd command center. Nothing but barracks here still. Gas is only going to be used for upgrades in the later game stuff. Still not a second, not any sort of tech at all. So they're getting tech lab, so they can research STEM and combat shield, the 2 Marine upgrades at the same time. Let's slow this down back to game speed. So yeah, they do. They start up STEM, which lets you use an ability on the Marines to, it costs them some hit points, but makes them move and fire faster for a few seconds. And then combat shield gives them an extra 10 hit points. STEM also works on all Terran biological units, so it works on their Marauders too, which you can now build when you have a tech lab attached. The one up here, wow, there's not even a reactor on either of those barracks, which let you double produce out of a single barracks. So my opponent really is just making so many Marines. Okay, there's the factory. That's the latest factory I've ever seen. And barracks and barracks and barracks and barracks. This plan is just, Marines don't cost very much, so you can just make a large number of them. Are there some Marauders in here now? There are. These guys just are good against armored units, which sometimes Zerg make roaches, which are an armored unit, and they're good against them. They're also good against buildings, because all buildings are armored. Just has a bunker at the front to prevent me from running up here with some Zerglings and attacking the base. So I did my thing with the queens here, spreading the creep. Really, by now, this could be out onto about this screen if I was doing it more efficiently. So I do see my opponent's third base with these Zerglings. My opponent decides not to even try to land there until the issue is dealt with by this big squad of Marines and Marauders. Takes out my Zerglings. Okay, my Overlord I should really have retreated by now. Like maybe over this airspace where it's hard for infantry units to hit. But my opponent actually doesn't even land their base very quickly. So this, okay, finally someone's with reactors, so it's such a double produce the basic units, the Marines. So Stimpack's almost done. That I assume will key my opponent to come attack. Well, no, they're working on 1-1, so maybe not. And my 1-1 is almost done. So my attack upgrades are almost done. My speed for the Banelings is almost done. But I'm still working on my one for the Hydralisks. It's actually kind of dangerous to have them way out here because these guys are super slow before they get the upgrade that makes them faster. They're not super slow. They're not a queen, but they have trouble retreating from infantry, which becomes a problem momentarily. So holding this watchtower gives you this circular field of vision. Whoa, let's not do that again. Gives you a circular field of vision around it by holding a watchtower with a unit. I should really be holding the one up here as well. There's no reason not to be holding that as Zerg basically ever. After the very early game, if your opponent is not making a bunch of Hellions, you should always be able to have a unit at the watchtower as Zerg. So see, my opponent engages. I didn't actually do a good job reacting to that. I could have sent my army down there to engage better. Instead, I ended up running away. Because I think in the actual game I was busy doing all my macro base defense stuff. I'm just trying to make it harder for them to kill my base coming over here. So I do eventually clean this up. You want to actually connect the Banelings with the Marines because as you see they don't do a ton against Marauders, but they do enough damage to one-shot a Marine until they get their first armor upgrade. Then you start needing the level 2 of the attack upgrade for the Banelings to actually one-shot a Marine. But still, they'll be at such low hit points that you'll either be wasting a lot of energy on the medevac, or it'll only take, a hit or two from a Zergling to defeat a Marine at that point. So I've got some more Banelings here. This is one of my weaker points because it's got a base that's got a relatively large number of resources at it. Plus I'm taking a base here that has all the resources still at it that it started with. I know I explained this in the game that I opened this path so that I could circulate my army better, because what you want as Zerg is to get surrounding your opponent if you're able. Wasn't able to do that this game. That's one of the reasons I lost so many fights. So you see, I should be back at this watchtower again. I've still never sent a unit to this watchtower. I did eventually remember to send my overlords around to check out some various bases my opponent might take. I should really have one. Well, no, I do have one here. But I should really... No, I do there. Should have one at this base too. There's no reason to not have it there. I don't know if I can really check on this base with an overlord because it's so deep in the enemy territory. It's kind of near where their other bases are. Easy for them to get to and possibly to kill your overlord. Then you're losing supply for little gain. So I'm still massing up at this watchtower. My opponent knows that though, so they're still massing up in the same general area with their infantry too. Although they have a whole bunch of infantry at home as well. They do finally start making some medevacs or a dropship that also heals biological units, which all their army are. They use them literally for just a healing in this game, I believe. I don't think I saw them pick up a Marine or Marauder one time. They have a capacity of up to 8 Marines, or up to 4 Marauders, or some combination of the two. Marauder takes up 2 of the spaces, whereas a Marine takes up 1 out of the 8 spaces available. Yeah, so they do have the Marauders in front, which means the tanks some Baneling hits. If I just had more Banelings there, I would have been okay. Or if I had moved this down sooner. But because I did not move in sooner, I end up with my army I'm trying to flank with actually got flanked. Because of the way the terrain ended up working out. What I was trying to do is come down here and down here at the same time to get the army when their army was here. But instead, part of my army fought over here, then part of my army fought over here, and then got sandwiched between their reinforcements and the main army. So that was just me engaging poorly. Still haven't lost at this point, but I do need to really hang on to at least one of the two bases here to still have a chance. So I have no defense over here. I'm just laying this base because I feel like this is more defensible since I have the structures at it. Unfortunately, there's just so many Marines because of my previous poor engagement that I end up not able to defend either of my bases. So that one's already down. This one goes down shortly. From here, I try to retake some bases and reestablish, but it's just not happening. My opponent's just much too far ahead at this point. So, you know, our army supplies look even and everything, and our workers, but remember, my workers aren't actually returning any resources. Look how far they have to go, plus they're walking past an army, plus, like, a lot of my armies here, and it's still spread out. It's not all together and doing its thing as one fighting force. It's kind of all over the place. Okay, so maybe I wasn't as far off as I thought in the game, because we have still fairly similar army supplies. My opponent's a little bit ahead. So I did have the right idea. Okay, I'm not actually dead yet, but this is a really bad position for me because I had 2 bases just die. And my opponent has still got their 3 bases, although this one's basically out of resources at this point. And this one's a lot of the way out of resources, but that'll look the same for me. This one's basically out, and this one's almost completely out. So unfortunately, I lost my bases that still had a lot of resources at them, which is why I end up getting further and further behind. You see now my opponent's got double the army supply that I have. So we do some more skirmishing here. Doesn't go that well for me. I try to take out some of these liberators. They have an anti-air attack that does splash damage to air, and then they have that anti-ground siege mode that was the relevant one in this game. The siege tank is also quite good when you have just low numbers of small units like I'm going to end up having when the game gets this way. I still don't know how these drones end up. Maybe I hit stop at some point when I was microing and somehow stopped all those workers. Anyway, I have so few resources, it's unlikely that it would have been that much of a difference. Because my opponent now just has pretty good sieging up army with what infantry they have left over. Just going to come in, kill my base. I did end up getting a Broodlord, but 1 Broodlord's not what you need. You need like 5+ Broodlords to be effective. And with that, you need anti-air so that the Liberators don't just destroy every single Broodlord that you have. So I tried to retake this base. I tried to retake that base. Ultimately, my opponent knows I have to do this, so they just come over and make sure I don't actually have time to get value from it and actually reestablish here. No, that's not the one. Yeah, so now my opponent just has 4 times as much supply worth of army as I do. And it's just a more technologically sophisticated army too, because they haven't lost all their bases and all their units. So here in a second, I end up GGing out after my opponent asks, but I probably would have GG'd right around here if it was any other game, because, okay, yeah, this base is just gone. I have no way to really recover. I know my opponent is so far ahead. I can see how many units they have. They're just walking on creep without even caring. Normally, as Terran, you're scared to step on creep, because that means all the Zerg units can surround you more easily. So at this point, it's just a formality, and I end up losing this one.